Hello, friends. How are you? Welcome back. And get ready to change your life. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of wheat pennies, Lincoln cents, and the ultra-valuable Sacagawea $1 gold coins. These coins may look ordinary, but some of them hide shocking secrets, unbelievable stories, and values soaring into thousands, even millions of dollars in today's market. From rare mint errors to surprising color shades, from P-mint to D-mint coins, even dirty or damaged pieces, could still make collectors go crazy. So before you spend that old coin lying in your drawer, stick around. You might be holding a fortune in your hands. Let's begin with number 1. The 1944 mint mark wheat penny. Welcome back, treasure hunters. Today we're stepping into the mysterious world of the 1944 mint mark wheat penny, a coin that many collectors whisper about with awe. This little copper coin from the United States of America has stirred more excitement, debate, and curiosity than almost any other Lincoln cent. At first glance, it looks simple, worn, maybe even dirty, but behind its humble appearance lies a history full of accidents, secrets, and the kind of twists that make collectors believe anything is possible. When people talk about a coin that might change your destiny overnight, the 1944 wheat penny is always at the center of the story. To understand why this coin became so iconic, we travel back to the final years of World War II, a time when America was under pressure. Factories were rushed, and the mint was producing millions of coins daily. In this chaos, small mistakes carried huge consequences. The 1944 penny was supposed to be made of copper, and most were, but stories began circulating about rare errors and unusual variations. Even a normal 1944 mint mark penny gained fame not because of its composition alone, but because of the era it was born into, an era where accidents were common and legends were born. Collectors are drawn to this coin not just because of its year, but because of the sense of mystery that surrounds it. Some believe certain 1944 pennies were struck on leftover steel planchets from 1943, while others think special experimental versions were created behind closed doors at the mint. Over time, rumors of gold-tinted, rainbow-toned, and deep-red copper examples started to spread, turning the 1944 penny into something almost mythical. As stories traveled, its value grew, not only in dollars but in imagination. One of the reasons this coin grabs attention is the way it changes depending on its condition. A shiny, untouched example creates excitement. But even a dirty, darkened, or heavily circulated coin can spark a collector's heartbeat. Some people believe the dirtier the coin, the more secrets it holds. Others look for stickers, marks, or strange textures that might hint at errors or unusual storage conditions. This coin teaches collectors that beauty isn't always bright. Sometimes value hides in the roughest surface. The 1944 mint mark penny carries another layer of value: nostalgia. It is passed through the hands of soldiers, farmers, families, storekeepers, and children who carried it in their pockets during a time when everything felt uncertain. Every scratch tells a story. Every dent holds a memory. This emotional value has helped transform the coin into something bigger than metal, a piece of American history that survived its era and found its way to modern collectors who see it as a link to the past. The market for this coin has exploded over the years, especially with the rise of social media and collectors sharing their finds. Suddenly, ordinary people discovered coins in drawers, old jars, and forgotten wallets, and some of those coins turned out to be extraordinary. The buzz grew, the demand increased, and the 1944 penny began appearing in auctions, videos, and news stories. Prices rose dramatically for exceptional examples, and stories of rare varieties selling for massive amounts fueled even more hype. What truly makes this coin powerful is the belief that it can change someone's life. Whether or not it reaches millions, the possibility itself keeps collectors searching. People love the idea that a small copper coin worth 1 cent could turn into something priceless. And although most 1944 mint mark pennies are common, special errors, high-grade conditions, or unique color patterns can push values into shocking levels. That blend of reality and mystery is what keeps the legend alive. Another fascinating part of this coin story is the way it has inspired generations. Young collectors still search their pockets, hoping to find one. Older collectors continue studying every curve, every shadow, every letter on the coin surface. The coin has become a teacher, introducing new enthusiasts to the world of numismatics, showing them that history isn't just written in books, but also minted in metal. It symbolizes patience, curiosity, and the hope of discovering the unexpected. Even in its simplest form, the 1944 penny commands respect. It represents a moment in time when America was rebuilding, reshaping, and moving forward. And as decades passed, its value changed not only in money but in meaning. It reminds us that small things can hold enormous importance. It teaches that sometimes rarity comes from mistakes, and sometimes value comes from survival. Whether bright copper red or nearly black with age, the coin carries a story that no other object can replicate. So if you ever find a 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny in your home, don't ignore it. Hold it carefully, look at it closely, and understand that you're holding a piece of living history. Maybe it's worth a little, maybe it's worth a lot, but its true power lies in the journey it took to reach you. Coins like this remind us that fortune isn't only measured in dollars. Sometimes it's measured in discovery, excitement, and the thrill of uncovering something extraordinary. And who knows, your old penny might just be the beginning of the story that changes everything. Next up, the 1953 D Wheat Penny. Welcome back to another journey into the world of unbelievable treasures hiding in plain sight. Today we're stepping into the story of the 1953 D Wheat Penny, a tiny copper coin from the United States that has shocked collectors again and again with its unexpected value, its mysterious variations, and its unforgettable presence in coin history. At first glance, it looks ordinary, a little scratched, a little dirty, maybe even forgotten in an old box. But behind its simple design lies a dramatic history of minting changes, hidden mistakes, color transformations, and collector legends that have turned this penny into a symbol of hope, luck, and unimaginable fortune. The year 1953 was not just another year for American coinage. It was a year of transition. Factories were buzzing, industries were booming, and the Denver Mint, marked by its famous D, was producing millions of pennies without realizing that some become lifelong mysteries. These pennies were made during a time when America's economy was pushing forward, yet the Mint was still dealing with worn-out dies, rushed production schedules, and unexpected challenges that created rare imperfections. These small inconsistencies would later become the key to transforming a simple cent into a treasure worth thousands today. Collectors love the 1953 D penny because even though the majority were ordinary copper coins, a few were born different. Some appear with bold lettering, deep strikes, or unusual textures. Others look gold-toned, almost like tiny ancient treasures forgotten in the dust. And then there are the strange ones, the coins with unexpected shimmer, rainbow highlights, or dark gritty surfaces that hide their true age like a secret. These aren't just coins. They're stories preserved in metal, shaped by time, accidents, and conditions no one could ever predict. One of the most interesting things about the 1953 D penny is the way its appearance changes depending on where it has been. Exposure to moisture, heat, sunlight, and even old storage boxes can transform the coin's color into shades of red, brown, gold, or even violet. Some coins appear as though someone brushed a thin layer of gold over them. Others develop mysterious stickers, grease marks, or circular impressions caused by decades of movement. Collectors often say that every 1953 D penny has its own personality, its own history, and its own path to survival. The dramatic part of this coin's reputation comes from the belief that certain rare 1953 D variations can reach staggering values. While not every penny is worth thousands, the ones with unusual errors, extremely sharp details, or untouched mint brilliance have shocked the market many times. Some have sold for over $10,000 in high grade, and legendary stories tell of exceptional specimens bringing even more. These stories, sometimes exaggerated, sometimes real, are part of what fuels a dream that one day a collector might stumble upon a forgotten jar and pull out a coin that could change their life overnight. Another reason this penny became iconic is the romantic connection to America's post-war era. Every 1953, D Wheat penny passed through hands that lived through rebuilding years, through bustling markets, growing families, busy streets, and a changing nation. When you hold one of these coins, you're not just touching copper, you're touching history. You're touching a fragment of a world that existed long before modern technology. That emotional impact is part of what keeps collectors searching, studying, and cherishing each coin they find. The Denver Mint itself has a reputation among collectors for producing some of the most interesting error coins. The 50s were a decade where quality control was improving but not perfect, and this created opportunities for unusual mint marks, double letters, and strange mechanical marks. Some 1953 D pennies have tilted D mint marks, weak impressions, or slightly misplaced symbols that make experts pause. These tiny quirks spark curiosity, turning a normal penny into a detective story waiting to be solved. Many collectors also talk about the 1953 D penny's transformation through age. A coin that looks worthless to one person might be a treasure to another. Dirt, scratches, and dark surfaces often scare casual observers, but numismatists know better. Sometimes a dirty coin hides powerful details underneath, like sharp lines in Lincoln's profile or crisp wheat stalks that survived decades untouched. The most valuable coins are those that retain their strength despite time, coins that refuse to fade, that still shine through their scars. This coin also carries a strange psychological power. For many collectors, the 1953 D penny symbolizes possibility, the idea that a life-changing discovery could happen anywhere at any moment. You could be cleaning a drawer, sorting through old change, or opening a forgotten envelope when suddenly a small copper circle catches your eye. That moment of realization, that spark of curiosity, is why millions of people around the world search for rare coins today. The 1953 D penny keeps that dream alive. What truly elevates this penny is the way its value shifts across time. One decade it's overlooked, the next it's trending, and then suddenly it appears in collector magazines, auction houses, and social media videos as a surprising gem. These waves of interest push prices up, then stabilize them, then push them again. This constant rise and fall add a layer of excitement. The feeling that the coin market is alive, unpredictable, and full of surprises. Every 1953 D penny carries signs of the journey it has taken. Some have rubbed surfaces that tell of thousands of hands. Some have deep marks from being dropped, scratched, or trapped in pockets with keys. Some have soft edges from long circulation. Others, untouched and crisp, seem like they were frozen in time. This contrast between the worn and the preserved adds beauty to the entire collection community. It shows that every coin, no matter its condition, has a place and a meaning. For collectors searching for the extraordinary, this penny represents patience and destiny. It teaches that great value is often hidden where no one expects it. It reminds us that history is not always glamorous. Sometimes it's gritty, scratched, and covered in dust. And yet, that is where the story becomes powerful. A 1953 D penny may not always look like much from a distance, but once you study it closely, you see depth, character, resilience, and rare beauty. So if you ever come across a 1953 D wheat penny, don't rush to spend it or toss it aside. Hold it gently, study its details, and appreciate the decades it has survived. Whether it ends up being worth a little or a lot, its true value lies in the thrill of possibility. The idea that this tiny piece of copper might be the beginning of a story that transforms your future. Some coins change history, and some coins change lives. And among all the pennies ever minted, the 1953 D carries the kind of mystery, charm, and magic that makes collectors believe that fortune can appear when you least expect it. Next up, the 1957 D wheat penny. Welcome back to another life-changing journey into the world of hidden treasures, where small, forgotten coins turn into legendary stories. Today we travel deep into the heart of the famous 1957 D wheat penny, a tiny copper coin from the United States that many people spent without ever realizing its true potential. It may look ordinary, scratched, darkened, or dusty, but this coin carries surprising history, unexpected twists, and mystery-filled transformations that have turned it into one of the most talked-about late-era wheat pennies among collectors. For some, it has become a symbol of luck. For others, a dream of overnight fortune waiting silently inside an old drawer. The year 1957 marked the closing chapter of an American era. The wheat penny design was nearing its end, and the Denver Mint, represented by the bold D, was working around the clock to keep up with rising demand. But with this rush came imperfections, variations, and accidental quirks that would later give certain 1957 D pennies extraordinary value. Every coin minted that year carried the tension of an economy in motion, industries evolving, and machines being pushed to their limit. In that pressure-filled environment, small mistakes slip through, mistakes that years later will become precious treasures. Collectors consider the 1957 D penny fascinating because it was minted during a period of transition when old equipment met modern production needs. Some dies were aging, some were overused, and some were replaced in a hurry, leaving behind inconsistent strikes, unusual lettering shapes, and odd surface textures. These slight differences became a playground for numismatists. Over time, people began discovering 1957 D pennies with polished surfaces, deep copper tones, gold-like shine, rainbow patina, and unexpected marks that hinted at a journey longer and stranger than anyone imagined. One of the most captivating mysteries surrounding the 1957 D penny is its shifting color. Depending on how it lived its life, in a humid basement, a hot attic, a leather wallet, or a metal box, the coin picked up shades of red, brown, chocolate black, and even purple or golden hues. Some people swear they have found 1957 D pennies that look like tiny gold coins because of the warm glow they developed over decades. Others discovered sticky patches, circular indentation marks, or strange sticker-like residues that gave the coin a unique personality. These variations fuel curiosity and spark the collector's imagination. Even though millions of 1957 D pennies were minted, only a small number survived in exceptional condition. Most entered circulation, were used daily and slowly wore down. But the coins that escaped heavy use, the ones that slipped into envelopes, jars, and forgotten drawers, have become the shining stars of today's market. These rare survivors, especially those with strong strikes, full details, and original mint color, have amazed collectors with their shocking price jumps at auctions. And every time one sells for a surprising amount, the legend grows deeper. The 1957 D penny also carries emotional value that cannot be measured in dollars. Imagine how many hands it passed through. Factory workers, farmers, children buying candy, parents saving for the future, soldiers returning home, couples building new lives. Each penny has absorbed a piece of America's past, a part of its heartbeat, and a trace of stories we will never fully know. Holding one of these coins feels like touching history itself, as though a doorway is opened into a world that no longer exists. The Denver Mint of the 1950s had a fascinating relationship with error coins. Mechanical doubling, repunched mint marks, die polishing lines, and subtle misalignments were not unusual. A small tilt in the mint mark, a faint doubling in the date, or a slightly shifted strike could turn a simple penny into a rare specimen. For collectors, the thrill lies in examining every detail. The curve of the 7, the angle of the D, the lines on the wheat stalks, searching for the story hidden within the metal. What makes the 1957 D penny so attractive to collectors worldwide is its unpredictable nature. A coin that looks worthless to the untrained, I might actually be hiding rare details. A dirty or dark coin might still show astonishing sharpness under magnification. A scratched coin might carry an unusual pattern that tells of a minting accident or a unique decades-long journey. For collectors, the excitement comes from not knowing what they will discover. Every coin holds a possibility, a chance to uncover something rare, something extraordinary, something life-changing. This penny's influence extends beyond its physical form. It has inspired countless new collectors who first learned about coin values through stories of wheat pennies selling for incredible amounts. It has become a gateway, a symbol of how a small piece of copper can ignite dreams, curiosity, and passion. Many people began their numismatic journey because of a 1957 D penny they found in an old box or inherited from grandparents. The coin has become a teacher, introducing generations to the beauty and mystery of historical currency. In the modern world of social media, the 1957 D penny has found new fame. Videos, posts, and discussions about its rare varieties and surprising values have captured millions of views. The market reacts in waves, with interest rising sharply whenever a particularly beautiful or rare example appears at auction. This coin has proven that even late-date wheat pennies still have the power to shock collectors and generate excitement. Its story continues to evolve, just like its value, Every 1957, D penny carries marks of survival. Some have smooth surfaces from years of circulation. Others have deep scratches from countless pockets and cash registers. A few have dents, rim bumps, or stains that tell of rough journeys. But then there are the lucky few, untouched, preserved, frozen in time, holding on to the brilliance they were born with. These are the coins that create bidding wars, spark rumors, and cause collectors' hearts to race. For the dreamers, this coin represents more than money. It represents possibility, the belief that a tiny treasure could be waiting anywhere, in a piggy bank, in a dusty shelf, in a shoebox, or in a forgotten jar of coins. People love the idea that an old penny from 1957 could suddenly become the key to unexpected wealth. Even though not every coin will reach unbelievable prices, the hope itself is powerful. It keeps collectors searching, believing, and imagining what might still be hidden out there. So if you ever find a 1957 Wheat penny, don't underestimate it. Hold it carefully, admire its details, and respect its journey. Whether it ends up being worth a little or a lot, remember that its true power lies in its story. A story of survival, history, mystery, and the thrilling possibility that this tiny copper coin might be the beginning of something extraordinary. Some coins change pockets. Some coins change collectors. And a rare few, like the 1957 Wheat penny, have the potential to change someone's life forever. Next up, the 1993 Mint Mark Lincoln Penny. Welcome back to another thrilling journey into the hidden world of coins, where the smallest piece of metal could become the biggest surprise of your life. Today, we dive into mysterious and often misunderstood story of the 1993 Mint Mark Lincoln Penny, a coin many people overlook because they think modern pennies can't hold value. But this coin, especially in rare conditions or unusual forms, has shocked collectors for years. Some versions appear with strange colors, odd surfaces, or unexpected textures that turn an ordinary pocket coin into a silent treasure. The story of the 1993 penny is a reminder that fortune doesn't always shine. Sometimes it hides in the dull, dirty, forgotten corners of everyday life. The year 1993 was a period of technological progress at the U.S. Mint. Machines were faster, dyes were stronger, and mass production was smoother than ever. But even with advancements, no minting process is perfect. The Mint Mark pennies from Philadelphia that year went through countless high-speed strikes, and this intense industrial pressure created rare imperfections and subtle variations that collectors today hunt desperately for. Some coins came out razor-sharp, others slightly misaligned, some with soft letters, and some with unexpected toning. These tiny details build a story far more interesting than anyone expected. While the 1993 penny was officially made of copper-plated zinc, many people swear they have found heavier versions, thicker rims, deeper textures, and even gold-tinted examples. Some of these impressions come from environmental exposure, heat, moisture, chemicals, while others might reflect minting quirks or unusual handling. But the magic lies in the mystery. Collectors love the idea that something different, something unexplainable, might be hiding within a simple 1-cent coin. And the 1993 penny has produced enough unusual finds to keep that hope alive. This coin has an odd relationship with condition. A clean, bright example could be attractive, but sometimes the most surprising discoveries come from the dirtiest, darkest, or most battered coins. A worn penny might hide an odd strike, a doubling effect, or a surface distortion that only becomes clear when examined closely. A dusty old penny found in a drawer might reveal strange patterns or color changes created by decades of storage. This unpredictability makes searching for the 1993 penny feel like a treasure hunt where every coin holds a secret. The emotional connection people have with the 1993 penny is surprisingly deep. For many, it's a coin from childhood, the era of school lunches, arcade machines, corner shops, and the last years before digital life took over. Millions remember these pennies being exchanged daily across America, touching lives in quiet, unnoticed ways. Every scratch or fingerprint on the coin may have belonged to someone who lived through a completely different world. That emotional weight adds to the coin's charm, making even ordinary pieces feel important. Collectors are especially fascinated by the way 1993 pennies age. Some develop beautiful rainbow tones, blues, purples, golden oranges, through years of exposure to air and humidity. Others darken into deep brown shades that make them look older than they actually are. Some coins even develop mysterious round patches, stains, or sticker-like marks that spark curiosity and speculation. Every unusual surface tells a story of where the penny has traveled and what it has survived. Errors are where the 1993 penny becomes truly interesting. While not all errors are valuable, the rare ones, strong doubling on letters, off-center strikes, and plating bubbles, have shocked collectors at auctions. When a coin shows signs of mint machinery slipping, skipping, or striking unevenly, it becomes more than currency. It becomes evidence of a moment when the minting process blinked. These tiny mistakes, almost invisible to untrained eyes, can turn a penny into a collector's gem. Another reason this penny continues to attract attention is its role in the transition from older, heavier copper coins to the lighter zinc-based versions. Many people still call it a copper coin because of its outer layer, and that copper shell has a way of aging unpredictably. Some pieces stay bright red for decades, others darken quickly, some develop gold-like luster, others remain dull. This inconsistency creates a sense of mystery, making each 1993 penny feel like its own unique specimen. The market for modern Lincoln pennies has exploded in recent years, driven by viral stories, unbelievable auction results, and collectors who suddenly realize that even newer coins can hold huge value under the right circumstances. The 1993 no-mint mark penny has been part of that wave, especially when examples in flawless condition or with rare errors sell for shocking amounts. Every time a collector posts a surprising result online, interest rises again, and people rush to examine their pennies at home. This coin also plays a psychological role in the collector's world. It fuels hope, the idea that hidden riches might be sitting quietly in a jar, a purse, or a long-forgotten box. Many people love the thrill of searching, the excitement of possibility. The 1993 penny, with its mix of commonness and mystery, is a perfect symbol of that dream. It teaches collectors that sometimes fortune is not about what is rare. It's about what is overlooked. Every 1993 penny carries the marks of time. Some were dropped countless times on floors, slid through vending machines, passed through cash registers, or sat in the sun on dashboard surfaces. Others were saved by grandparents, kept in coin rolls, or preserved inside envelopes for reasons no one remembers. A few lucky coins never circulated at all. Pristine survivors frozen in the exact moment they left the mint. These untouched gems create bidding wars and drive collectors into a frenzy. For people searching for life-changing coins, the 1993 penny represents opportunity. It proves that even modern coins can carry value far beyond their face. It shows that mistakes happen even in advanced systems. And it reminds us that something small, something ignored, something ordinary can become extraordinary under the right circumstances. This penny symbolizes the power of possibility, the belief that wealth can appear when you least expect it. So if you ever find a 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, don't rush to spend it or overlook its potential. Study its color, surface, weight, shine, and every tiny detail. Whether it's worth a little or a lot, its real power is in the story it carries, a story of chance, survival, and hidden fortune. A story that says anything is possible, and who knows, your ordinary old penny might just be the beginning of a discovery that transforms your future and proves that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest destiny. Next up, most valuable and expensive 1982 Lincoln penny no-mint mark. Stands as one of the most dramatic turning points in the entire history of the Lincoln penny. A year when the United States Mint made choices that quietly reshaped the destiny of coin collectors forever. On the surface, the 1982 Lincoln cent looks like an ordinary copper or copper-colored coin, something millions of people have casually spent without a second thought. But hidden beneath this simple design lies a story of sudden change, metal transformation, unexpected varieties, and rare errors that have turned a few of these coins into treasures collectors dream about. And the moment you hear this story, you will never look at a 1982 penny the same way again. The 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, especially in dirty condition or found with unusual coloring, have become a mysterious coin for collectors because the year itself is surrounded by confusion. The mint was shifting from old heavy copper cents to the new light zinc cents, and this transition created a perfect storm for mistakes. Some coins were struck in the wrong metal. Some had imperfect weights, and some showed strange shades and surface textures that almost looked like gold, bronze, or dark copper. Anyone holding such a coin today might be holding something far rarer than they realize. Collectors often say that 1982 is a year when anything was possible inside the mint, and that is exactly why a no-mint mark coin from this year, in unusual condition, can catch enormous attention. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins without a mint mark, but because of the metal shift, the same design was struck on two different compositions. And whenever two metals, two weights, two looks, and multiple varieties exist, rare mistakes can happen. Some of these mistakes are the very reason collectors are still hunting 1982 pennies like explorers searching for lost treasure. There's something almost magical about the way a dirty, worn-out 1982 penny can hide secrets under its surface. Many collectors believe that dirt can actually protect rare details on older coins, keeping them safe until the right person discovers them. That is why people often find valuable 1982 pennies in jars, drawers, boxes, or old purses. Coins that sat untouched for decades, waiting for the moment when someone finally recognizes their worth. These coins carry scratches, marks, color shifts, and signs of long journeys. Yet these imperfections can be clues, not flaws. The 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny also carries emotional history. It represents the final breath of America's traditional copper coinage. Before 1982, pennies were solid copper. After 1982, they became mostly zinc. This change was caused by rising metal prices, but for collectors, it marks the end of an era. That is why any 1982 penny with unusual weight, odd tone, or unexpected details can become extremely interesting and sometimes extremely valuable. Many people don't know this, but some 1982 pennies that look ordinary are actually worth far more because of their composition. A coin that looks like copper might actually be a rare transitional piece. A coin that seems too light might belong to a mistake batch. A coin with a strange color could be a clue that the metal mixture was wrong. These are the exact things collectors search for, and these tiny differences can turn a penny into a treasure. The truth is, the 1982 no-mint mark coin attracts collectors because it offers mystery. You cannot judge it by a quick glance. You must look deeper. You must weigh it, examine its edges, check its sound, and study its shine. Every part of the coin tells a story, and sometimes the story reveals something incredibly rare. That's why people who understand coins never ignore a 1982 penny. They hold on to it, study it, and hope for the moment of discovery. And what makes this coin even more thrilling is that many of the rarest finds were discovered by normal people, not experts. Everyday individuals, cleaning out old wallets or searching through pocket change, suddenly realized that they were holding something extraordinary. A simple penny turned into something that could change their financial future. This is the kind of discovery that collectors dream about, the kind that comes once in a lifetime. There are even stories of 1982 pennies turning up with gold-like shine, deep bronze patina, or odd silver-gray surfaces. These color changes don't come from paint or polish. They often come from natural aging or metal impurities from the mint itself. And when a coin shows unusual features from its origin, collectors value it even more, because such pieces become part of the coinage mystery of 1982. The stick-around effect that some collectors talk about, when the surface looks raised, glossy, or unusually smooth, is another clue pointing toward minting anomalies. In a year filled with metal transitions, a small glitch in pressure or temperature could create such effects. These coins become extremely desirable because they remind collectors of the chaotic shift from copper to zinc. What makes the story of the 1982 penny so gripping is that even today, the full truth of how many varieties exist is still being uncovered. New discoveries appear from time to time, new weights, new shades, new error types. And every discovery increases the excitement around this coin. It is like a living treasure hunt, still active, still unfolding, still surprising even experienced collectors. So when someone holds a 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, they are not just holding a coin, they are holding a moment in American minting history. They are holding a piece of the transition, a piece of the mystery, a piece of the chaos, and possibly a piece of unexpected wealth. And in today's world, where rare coins have reached unbelievable values. One extraordinary 1982 penny could indeed change someone's fortune overnight. This is why you should never, ever spend a 1982 penny without checking it, especially a dirty one, especially a no-mint mark piece, especially one with odd weight or strange color, because you might be holding a coin that carries the power to transform your life, and you won't know until you look closely. Next up, the most valuable and expensive, 1996. D. Lincoln penny may look like a simple copper-colored coin, something people spend without ever thinking twice. But behind that ordinary appearance hides a world of mystery, unexpected value, and one of the most overlooked chapters in modern American coin history. This coin, struck in Denver, carries a secret that collectors have been slowly uncovering over the years. A secret born from minting pressure, metal layers, aging effects, and hidden production anomalies that make certain examples extraordinarily valuable. It is a kind of coin that could be sitting in someone's pocket, dirty and forgotten, yet capable of changing their destiny overnight. The story of the 1996 D penny begins at a time when the U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins each year, rushing to the minting process at incredible speed. When production is fast, errors are more likely, and when errors slip through unnoticed, those coins become treasures. This is why the 1996 D penny is so fascinating. Even though it was mass-produced, the sheer volume created perfect conditions for rare misstrikes, metal blistering, plating issues, and unusual shades that collectors chase with obsession. A coin from such a busy year could hide something extraordinary beneath its surface. Because modern pennies are made with a zinc core and a thin copper coating, even the slightest flaw in the plating process can create strange textures, stick-around patterns, raised bubbles, golden tones, dark streaks, or unusual rings on the coin surface. These are not damage. They are clues born directly from the mint's own machinery. This is why a dirty or discolored 1996 D penny becomes even more interesting. The dirt can reveal details about age, surface tension, metal reactions, or minting pressure that collectors study like detectives searching for hidden evidence. What makes this coin truly exciting is that the Denver Mint in the 1990s was known for its intense production loads. Billions of coins were being struck every year, meaning the presses were running non-stop. When machines run at such speed, they heat up, vibrate differently, wear down, and occasionally slip out of alignment. These slight deviations create coins with misaligned dies, weak strikes, doubling effects, off-center stamps, and plating tears. Anyone who finds a 1996 D penny showing these signs could be holding a rare variety worth far more than expected. Collectors love this coin because the 1990s era is still young enough that many people have these pennies stored in jars, boxes, piggy banks, and old wallets. Most people think modern pennies are worthless, so they never check them. But collectors know the truth. The modern era is full of hidden gems. And sometimes a coin that looks ordinary, that someone almost throws away, becomes the exact coin that experts pay huge premiums for. That is the thrill of the 1996 D penny. Its treasures are hiding in plain sight. There's also something powerful about how a worn or dirty 1996 D penny carries its history. Each scratch, smudge, or uneven color is a chapter from its long journey through pockets, machines, counters, and years of circulation. These marks can show metal reactions that expose plating errors or early minting flaws. For collectors, this kind of natural aging is proof that the coin lived a life, and sometimes that life preserved a rare detail that would have otherwise been missed. The copper coating on these pennies creates some of the most fascinating surface patterns seen on modern coins. Because the copper layer is incredibly thin, even a minor variation in heat or pressure at the mint can change the shade of the coin. That's why you sometimes find 1996 D pennies with brighter copper shine, dark brown patina, golden bronze glow, or even strange reddish-purple tints. These color variations can increase a coin's value dramatically because they reveal rare minting conditions. The stick-around effect, when the surface looks swollen, bubbled, glossy, or raised, is a sign of plating issues unique to copper-plated zinc pennies. This is something collectors actively hunt for because it comes directly from a minting problem, not damage after use. If a 1996 D. Penny shows bubbles, circles, raised areas, blister-like surfaces, or smooth, rounded distortions. It becomes a candidate for significant collector value. These coins often spark bidding wars because they are never supposed to exist. Even more dramatic are the rare misstrikes that can come from die shifts, pressure mistakes, or mechanical stress during the minting process. A slight shift in the die can cause doubling in the lettering, extra thickness in the date, or shadows around Lincoln's profile. These doubling effects are more likely in coins produced during high-speed years, and 1996 is one of those years. A sharp-eyed collector who notices even a tiny doubling effect could be holding a coin that transforms its worth entirely. The journey of the 1996. D. Penny also fits into the larger story of America's shift into modern coinage. By the mid-1990s, the penny had become mostly symbolic, its value dropping even as production costs rose. Yet this was also a time when collectors began paying attention to small details, because modern coins, often ignored by the public, were beginning to reveal fascinating flaws from their rushed creation. This turned modern pennies into a new hunting ground, and in 1996, D. Penny became one of the stars of the era. What makes this coin even more thrilling is that the rarest examples are usually discovered by ordinary people, not experts. Someone empties a drawer, checks an old jar, or receives a handful of change, and suddenly they spot a coin that looks a bit unusual. Maybe the color is different. Maybe the surface looks bubbled. Maybe the date looks thicker. That tiny observation becomes a moment that unlocks unexpected wealth. One simple penny becomes a spark that changes everything. And in today's world, where collectors are willing to pay extreme amounts for rare modern errors, even one extraordinary 1996, D. Penny can be worth thousands, or in ultra-rare cases with dramatic minting flaws, even more. That is why people say this coin has the power to change someone's fortune overnight. A coin you don't notice could be the coin that makes you a millionaire. So before you spend a 1996 D. Lincoln penny, take a moment, look at it carefully, study the surface, feel the weight, notice the color. Because a coin that looks ordinary today might be the rare treasure that transforms your life tomorrow. And the story of the 1996 D. Penny proves beyond a doubt that sometimes the smallest coin carries the biggest fortune. See you in the next video.